Well, welcome to both simultaneously virtual and physical natural balance masterclass. Welcome to this present moment. Welcome to opportunity to practice being whole and complete. My name is Neal. Welcome David, welcome Deja, welcome Sheila, welcome Sol, welcome Suzanne, welcome Brandy, welcome Kevin, welcome Marquise, welcome Mervin, and what's the name of that other person? Welcome that other person online. I don't know your name, but welcome Dolores. In this present moment, imagine that collectively we are greater than any single one of us, and that this is our true nature. And imagine that we're in a mastermind and that our brains are all connected, and so that when one of us speaks, I can find myself in that conversation. That's what this initial portion of Natural Balance Masterclass is. It's a feminine flow format where I invite interruptions, and interruptions to me are not interruptions at all. They're actually synchronicity, and they're divine moments that appear and come into being, and they're tangible, and they can be heard, and they can be felt, and can be seen. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like what? Sharing. It looks like using your voice and expressing what's going on internally. That can look like literally just picking up a mic and speaking. It can look like raising your physical hand and waiting to be acknowledged or called upon and then communicating. Or it can look like just getting a mic and letting it rip. For the people online, for Mervin and Dolores, you're welcome to unmute at any moment and communicate. You're also welcome to raise your virtual hand to be called upon to speak. And so that's the container, that's the channel that we're all now flowing inside of. And Neal's my name, but actually Neal's not who I am. Who I am is multidimensional. Who I am is infinite. Who I am is a child of God. And I happen to be expressing through a human body. And that happening isn't just a coincidence. It's a divine orchestra that has me be right here in this present moment. And I'm going to pause there.
So what's up, Neal? How's it going?
Hey, David.
How are you doing?
Very well.
How are you feeling about the Remember experience?
In this exact moment, there's a degree of like anticipation mixed with nervousness, and then heavily slathered with inspiration. Like That's where I'm at right now.
How is it different than previous times?
There's a degree of confidence I have in my being of how I show up, and that's different. There's in the past I've had this victim thing inside, and I think there's still a flavor of that victim thing inside, but to a large degree, there's this confidence that is coming from um, like acknowledging that, hey, like we're family, like we're brothers and sisters, like we're together, um, and uh, and there's no hierarchy, and there's a confidence that I have because of that. We're on the same playing field. Welcome.
I feel like that's what's in the air with people coming in and it being the start of this week, 1 week journey. I'd invite anyone else to share where they're at.
Hello, I'm Brandy. Share where I'm at with regards to the Remember experience coming up. I feel like everything's just happening so quickly every day that I can't even keep up to my feelings, can't keep up to my thoughts. And I really can't make sense of time right now. Time to me is something that I've been thinking about a lot. I don't know if I've jumped some crazy timeline or what's happened to me recently, but I can't fathom how quickly I got here, how quickly I did everything I did before coming here. While I was doing it, it felt like it was taking forever. And then in retrospect, when I look back, like I got it all done within 2 months. That's a lot. Now I'm here, and now we've got all these guests coming. There's going to be 90 some odd people here tomorrow for this amazing experience. I'm excited, but I also feel like it's going to fly by. So for me, I want to just be as present as I can, have my butt in my seat, and get as much as I can out of this experience because humanity depends on it. So that's where I'm at.
What's going on? I'm Marquise, and the last Remember experience, 6.0, that was my first one, and I never left. I've just been hiding in the garden the whole time. I refused to leave. Canceled my flight ticket going back home. Like, I think it was because, like, the first thing, like, I hadn't cried in like 20 years. And the last straw for me was just seeing the band performing live. Man, what? Yes, this is home for me. But that first experience, it was like, I didn't know what to expect coming to Costa Rica. But before I got on the plane, I made sure I sold everything, and I told my family that I was going to the jungle. They were like, "Who do you know down there?" I don't know anybody. Like nobody. How long are you gonna be there? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's been hard to leave. And I can't see myself leaving. This is home for me.
Hi everyone, my name is Kevin. This is my first Remember experience, and I've just been to the village in the past few days, and that is actually something I'm very grateful for, because there was a lot of anxiety and just fears, doubts when I initially arrived. And I think just having those few days just to acclimatize and really mull things over was really, really valuable. And that's just something I really appreciate. So as for what I expect from the member experience, it's very hard to say. I imagine I will progress on my spiritual journey. I'm hoping to stay through the whole thing. It sounds very intense, and yeah, I'm just looking to get the most out of it. So.
Hi, my name's Sheila, and I just arrived in the village about 10 minutes ago. So I haven't got acclimatized yet, but I'm eager to just jump right in and see what the experiences are going to be here. I'm like that. If I get a big yes, I go. And most time I don't get yeses, but I did on this. I listened to the webinar and joined and bought in, and I'm supposed to be here to be checking it out, but I'm already in, so it'll be interesting. I've done a lot of personal development work over the years, so I just see this as another extension of that.
What webinar did you join?
It was the Off-Grid Dream Life, is what it was called,
Okay.
back in September.
That's where you came through, yes? Awaken Life Live, all right.
Is it? Yeah. This is my first Remember experience too. I've been living in the village for a month, almost 2 months now. I'm not sure how I actually ended up in the village. I just kind of ended up here. It wasn't any webinars. It wasn't. I was living in Costa Rica since June, and had been coming to some events and just stumbled into this place. But I'm really excited for the Remember experience too, and all the whatever depth and beauty and transformation it brings.
Completion for me is full circle. It is the thing, it is a thing, and completion is like, it's when it's done. And with completion, there's I think completion's only possible with divinity. So completion and divinity for me are directly linked. Without divinity, there's this inherent incompletion. So completion is this remembrance of the oneness of our true nature. So that's completion for me. And I'd love to hear what completion is for you.
So, okay. So here at Earthwaking, we have these invitational events called the hot seat, or basically it's a voluntary way of putting yourself in front of everybody and facing your internal judgments and feeling that mirror. And it can be really intense and a really powerful experience if you want to get to know the inside story of your ego. And I volunteered for this experience the last time I was here, and something really miraculous happened. It started with Jonathan taking a fall and injuring himself, and then appearing at this event where I was supposed to get roasted, right? You know, I'm preparing to get like totally roasted. And he just announced, I think we're doing something different this time. And he said, this one's called completion. And I was like, oh, okay, so what does that look like? You know, I prepared myself for one thing, and here he was inviting me to be a part of something different. And the invitation was really to step into a whole new way of being and release myself from the past, what I believed myself to be, any pattern that I'd had, and that mostly my patterns have kept me separate from people and thinking I can do it all by myself. And actually successful at doing that. You know, I'm pretty good at taking care of myself all by myself. But I was getting this inner urge to, you know, God speaks to me very clearly, and has for a long time, and he just said, you need to be a part of community. And so I've been walking in a turtley sort of way into embracing that as my new life. And I just recently moved into the village on a temporary basis, but I'm like you, Marquise. I have no intention of leaving. And completion to me is the completion of that transition into that new way of being, where I'm completely 100% embodying and a part of what this community stands for. And we say it every day in the at our morning meditation, the Earth Waking Manifesto. And the part that always hits me the strongest is, I am here to wake the world up. So thank you, God, for giving me that directive and giving me a place to make it a reality and a bunch of really cool people to hang out with while I do it.
Thank you, Suzanne. For me, completion is where it's finished. Like I'm at the finish line. It's done. Listo, right? Yes, it's done. I'm ready. It's like the commencement, the end of one journey and the beginning of the next. I'm fully armored. I have on the full armor of God, and I'm ready for the world. Like, nothing is going to stop this. You know what I mean? Like, completion. Remember, we're already members of the body of Christ, right? And we come here to remember that. Yeah, that's it.
Completion. I guess when it comes to this event, to me, completion represents really converting myself fully from fear to love, completing the process of coming home and remembering that we are all one. I keep hearing that around here, and sometimes it doesn't really feel that way or look that way. But Bible study after Bible study, it's very evident to me that that is the way. There's only one way. And that's what brought me here. So I'm committed to exploring that and finding my completion in Christ. And just remembering that He loves me. He forgives me for my sins. And that I don't have to be scared. That's the biggest completion I need to really, truly believe, and not just believe, but act that out, like be that. I need to get out of the fear and get into the love. So that's my completion.
Completion is something that I experienced a lot this week. For those who don't know, I just barely got back from a silent retreat for 5 days. And this morning, when I was able to speak again, like all day I felt really hypersensitive. Like I'm getting a huge rush of dopamine from like interacting with people, and that's, but while I was in the silence, my objective was to come back to this place where there was no agenda, where there was nowhere to be, nothing to do, nothing to accomplish, nothing to work out, nothing to figure out. And in that state, as I would like notice anytime I was getting pulled away from the present, I'm like, what is the motive that's pulling me? Like, what is it that wants my attention? And I would follow it. And then when I found the source, I would be like, okay, what is this thing? Like, what is it in me that wants to get something out of something outside of this present moment? And it was like going out and weeding, and I'd pull it, and then it wouldn't pull at me anymore. And so in that, I became really deeply present. It was for 5 days, but it really felt like one day with 5 naps. And it felt like a lifetime in a day, like time kind of disappeared because I was just here. And even in this circle right now, like my mind is having a hard time grasping the concept of the container of this circle. Like there's Soul over there playing with Sarah, and it's like there's just as much going on there as there is right here with the mic. Like there's so much happening in the room right now, and it's just I'm in an interesting state that's not very familiar to me. But in that moment, I felt complete. Like I don't need, like I am the age that I am. I'm not young, I'm not old, I'm not tall, I'm not short, I just am. And to me, that's completion. And that is what actually exists in the moment, at every moment. It's just our mind convincing us that we're not complete when we don't feel complete. But it feels very real when your mind tells you that. And it's kind of a weird experience feeling the literalness of it. And yeah, so that's completion to me.
For me, completion is a plural word because so many aspects of life, you know, I have completions every day and just tasks I set for myself for the day. You know, there's seasons, there's relationships where, you know, it may last for years and then it comes to a close and it seems like the time is done to move on. So for me, it's happening on many levels all the time. There's not just one until, you know, until I leave the planet, I suppose. So I'm pondering and hearing other people's answers, because I've heard answers in terms of spirit and oneness, which makes perfect sense to me as I hear it. And yet, I've been living in the busy world, so I have things going on all the time, tasks and duties and deadlines, and finding my way here on a bus. And just, you know, so it's sort of nonstop. That's why I say it's plural, because there's the many, many levels. So I'm just going to ponder that a little bit. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That's really interesting what you said. I'm sorry, what was Sheila. It was very intriguing to me. It actually triggered me when you said finding your way here on a bus, because to me, for me, that would be hell. Trying to find my way from, I'm just being honest, from San Jose in this weather on a bus to come to an event for the first time and not really know what to expect. And I just want to say congratulations for doing that on your own and having what it takes to complete that task is a lot bigger than you think, maybe. It would be difficult for me to complete that task on my own. So congratulations, and we're happy to have you.
I think for me, I resonate a lot with what has been said already. You know, completion would be, it'd be getting to a stage where I can remain present, just letting go of all the fears and doubts and remaining in the past. It's basically dropping it all and just being able to be my best self. And there was something else, and I can't think of it now. But it might come to me in a bit.
What would it take for you to be complete right now?
Would that be for me?
For anybody who wants to share.
I think for myself, it'd be stepping from a place of fear into a place of love. Because what brought me here was fear. And that's just a part of myself that I don't need to bring forward with me on my journey. So that'd be my answer.
I can relate to that. Fear is what, I don't know if it's what brought me here, but it's what got me looking outside of my old life for something new. And it's what made me start moving my feet towards something new. I think I've always known that that wasn't the life for me, even though I had a relatively good life. I was blessed, very blessed in everything that I had, but I was still miserable. And so I would always think, geez, man, I have this, I have that, I can do anything I want to do, I can go anywhere I want to go, I can eat anything I want to eat at any time, I can get in my car and go buy munchies or booze or weed or whatever, but I wasn't happy. I had something missing within myself, and when something happened to me where my consciousness changed, and then all my thoughts changed, and then all my relationships changed, and then my directions changed, and how I view myself changed, and how I see everything else changed, and everything, like I said, time just became an illusion. Everything just started happening so fast for me. So completion right now, the first thing that came to my head was for my physical body to die. I would be complete, because then I would be with the Lord in the afterlife, in bliss, the way I visualize it to be. So that's the first thing that came to my mind. I don't want to physically die. I'm physically, mentally, and emotionally happy to be here. But I don't know what that looks like other than that. Like right now, like what is it? Is it a man in my life? You know, is it another dog? Definitely not, by the way. What is it? That's a really good question, Neal. Thank you for asking that. That's something to ponder tonight, and bring that to the Remember experience, that question, because I think it's a very important to know wow, I don't know. Fully, I don't know.
So what came to mind for me is the complete acceptance of what is, and not desire to be anything different than what is. And the peace that comes from that. And the welcome for it to appear in any manner, totally trusting that life itself is in charge, and God's driving the limo and I'm in the back seat. And if whatever comes, even if death comes, it's like whatever, anything is it's already, I've already said yes. And it's done.
This is what I'm hearing from your share. I'm aware it's not what you said, but I'm what I'm hearing you say is like it's like a decision, like it's like a yes, like I am complete. Like the decision part, like
It's like it already is so. There's a place where it is so. Completion is so because God said so. God created everything and said it is good. And when there's no resistance to that, when that no longer exists in me, it's like, it's just so perfect. There's nothing left to do but surrender. You know, you're on the ride already. Just enjoy it. Right? The ego has its little tweaky moments, but that place where I know that God lives and moves and has his being in me, there's no fear there. There's no fear there.
My thought is you should think about a master class on how to accept what is.
I might do that.
I'll come.
Well, the master class that I did a few VLPs ago was called Welcome to Your Throne Room for a reason.
Wow. Cool. And what about you, Neal? What would make you complete right now?
for me, it's letting go of like needing something in the future, which like so often I look in the future and then I see something and then I either want to be there or like I have this anxiety that it's not here already because man, I see it so clearly, like it's obvious, but I'm like here and it's there. So like letting go of that future and just being present, and then I'm gonna share a piece that I heard in Suzanne's share, which is just letting go of all my resistance, like to anything, like letting go of my resistance in this moment, paired with releasing what I perceive the future holds. Because my fear, when I experience it, comes, and it's more like an anxiety for me, but it comes from like contemplating what might happen. And so letting go of what might happen and letting go of resistance and just being here, and that for me that's next level completion.
Cool.
So we've been in a flow format, which is where you can just chime in as called. We're going to transition now to a more structured format. And in this format, feel into your heart and feel into something that you could gift to another person, to another soul. And that this gift is something that before you speak it, before you acknowledge this gift, this offer, that after the speaking of it, something becomes available that wasn't available before you spoke. And so we're going to have an opportunity to give an offer. This offer can be as small or as big as you want to make it. But have it include a location, have it include a minimum donation amount, have it include a way for a person to reach out to you, and have it include a time of when it's going to happen. And we'll have 2 minutes each to share this offer. And so I invite you to just go inwards right now for a moment and feel into something that you can offer to the collective. This video is recorded, and it's going to go beyond the people that are sitting here. So there'll be people listening to this content that can receive the offer that you're about to speak to right now. Who would like to share an offer first?
I'll share.
Suzanne, welcome. You have 2 minutes. Let it rip.
Okay. I hold a very large space for stepping into an intimate relationship with God. And if you are interested in expanding your space and joining me there, I am available for coaching or talks or listening or anything that might arise between me and you where we are in agreement that coming to know God in a more intimate and real way is the goal. So you can find me in the Earth Waking Virtual Village. You can find me on the Signal Chat. The minimum donation is your full attention and time.
Amazing. Brandy, you got a mic? Are you feeling an offer?
I've never made an offer.
Well, think of this as practice.
Okay.
Do you have something that's tangible that somebody can receive were you to speak it?
The thing that comes to my mind is
Well, is that a yes or a no?
yes.
All right, so you've got 2 minutes. Feel into your heart and just give it your best go. All right, let it rip.
I invite anyone that is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Anyone that's struggling with their current life and wants to make change, dramatic change, that's lacking courage. I invite them to reach out to me in a one-on-one setting through Signal. I can be found there anytime. And I would be more than happy to share my experience of going from feeling the fear and doing it anyway. That's what is coming up for me right now, and the minimum donation would be, I don't know, $10. $10.
$10.
$10.
Right. Is there a time frame? So if I invest $10 and like I want to have a session with you, do I get like a half hour or do I get a 1 hour?
30 minutes.
30, all right, so $10 for
30 minutes. First 30 minutes, $10.
Amazing.
See if you get anything out of it. And I know I did, so I know I have some good advice to give in the fear versus being courageous department.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Just for everybody, like all of these offers, they're specifically minimum donations. So minimum is like you can donate more. Like if you value the interaction, if you value the offer, and like you're like, holy crap, that was like totally transformational, and I want to see more of this. Like I want to give resources because I want to see more of this promoted in the world. It's minimum donation because you can give more. So I'm putting that piece in. All right, who would like to share an offer next? Kevin or what's your name again? Kevin or Sheila, or you got an offer you want to share?
I don't have one that's coming up right now. I've never done that. And yet it makes me ask myself the question of what is my gift or what can I share that somebody would value? And so I think of these little tools that I've learned over the years, but they're so little. So, you know, tapping, compassionate communication. Probably most everybody here has done some of those things, so I'm not sure what to offer.
All right. So do you want to make an offer, or do you want to? No, you don't want to make an offer. All right, great, thank you. Kevin, are you feeling something? I feel you like expanding. I feel like you might got something in there. Do you have an offer?
At this time, I'd say probably not. I think I'm pretty early in my journey, and I think I've come a long way spiritually, but I'm still really trying to find my own niche in that spirituality. So that's something I'm trying to discover at the moment. So at this time, I'd say no, but that could very well change, maybe sometime very soon.
Amazing. So I'll share. Are you somebody that's been leading events? Are you somebody that's a healer? Are you an event facilitator? This is for you, if so. Specifically for the healers, for the event facilitators, that you've been on the path, you've been growing, you've been internally readjusting, reorienting, but you've now come to a point where there feels like a plateau, and you're aware that there's more, like there's a next step, but you're not entirely sure what that next step is, or even in what direction it is. My offer, if that's you, my offer is for you, and I'm offering what's called up-level ceremony. And up-level ceremony, this is a 7-day event. It's hosted here in rural Costa Rica, and it's rural because it's on Earthwaking Grace 2 property, which has one single structure on it right now. It's in the mountains and surrounded by jungle, surrounded by nature. In this first 5 days of this 7-day event, will be food fasting. Also, we'll be doing 6 hours of meditation per day, and this meditation is split into 2-hour windows. There's a maximum capacity of people that can be at this event. That number right now is 27 people. If you want to be part of this, the minimum donation amount is $333, and the dates of this event start date is December 27th, 2024 of this year. And then the end date of this event is January 2nd, 2025 of next year. On January 1st, 2025, that's when together we come out of meditation, we come out of silence, and we come out of food fasting, which has us be in a clean state internally, emotionally, and spiritually. Emotionally is questionable, you know, stuff comes up when you fast. But definitely clean internally, and then on January 1st, we're breaking this fast together with organic fruits like papaya, like mango, like watermelon, and along with vegetables like Okinawa spinach, like Bele hibiscus. That's literally growing on the property where this event is being hosted. And what you can expect is going into 2025 with the radiance inside of your soul, inside of the cells of your body, and having a radiance that's both physical and spiritual going into 2025. So that's my offer. And my email is nealnow555momentpresent@gmail.com. And I'm going to put all my information in the description, and all the information from all these offers will be in the description of this video, including the donation links. So go look at the description of this video, make your donation, receive your offer, and that's what I got. We're at the end of Natural Balance Masterclass, and thank you, God, so much for holding off this really heavy, loud rain until the conclusion of this masterclass. I love the rain. I love you who's here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for your time and attention and your investment in your heart, your investment in your growth, and your investment in contribution to other people. And with that, this is concluded. Thank you.